Welcome to your Libra horoscopes for the week of the 7th through the 13th of April. And we have no planets in Libra this week. We do have the dark moon for a couple of days this week, right at the beginning of the week, which doesn't necessarily have the greatest influence. So it's kind of nice that it's leaving for a few days. And then when it comes back, maybe it will be a little bit more helpful. Focus is on the home, and because the dark moon is retrograde and moving backwards out of Libra, it can feel like any changes that you want to implement in the home, you just can't. It's like every single place that you turn, there is a challenge, there is a problem. And it's extremely frustrating when that happens, especially when it's over your own space, you know? And you want to get these things done and you just can't for whatever reason. It could be other people in your life, it could be the weather, it could be a lot of things that are influencing this. And it can be really frustrating. And it's probably going to heighten the frustration a little bit because we are still in a Mercury retrograde. It is an Aries retrograde, so that can be kind of an aggressive and frustrating um, energy. And it also could be what's causing part of these delays. So you've already got that influence plus the dark moon's retrograde influence there. I can see where it could be highly frustrating the first couple of days of the week. However, you can focus on that frustration, or you can try a different tactic and see if that works, because we do have a solar eclipse kicking off the week on Monday about 12:30 for about an hour to an hour and a half Central Time. That's North American Central Time. If you are in Texas or any of those southeastern states, you guys are going to have the best view of this total solar eclipse. Everywhere else in North America, we're going to see bits and pieces of it depending on where we are in North America. The rest of the world, unfortunately, is probably going to miss out, which is unfortunate, but you don't have to see it in order to feel it. And this is a new moon solar eclipse in Aries, which is the sign of rebirth, new beginnings. It's all about new projects. And so while we're dealing with these changes that we can't make, there's plenty of this amazing energy to manifest in other areas. So I really feel like the lesson here is obsessiveness. I am married to a Libra, and I can see and have seen over the years where he tends to get stuck obsessing over one little thing that is not going his way, when there are all these other things that he could be focusing his energy on that might be a little bit more productive. And this is the lesson I think that really the eclipse is bringing to Libras here, because this is all happening in your opposite sign. Not that there's any planets to interact with it, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but because it's your opposite sign, the two signs are very similar in many ways. So the energy is really, really good for manifesting new projects and manifesting energy towards new projects and new ideas, specifically in your career. So maybe things aren't moving at home because you need to focus that energy on your career goals. And once you get that settled, you can make all the changes you want in the home, right? And the lesson really is to not obsess or not force or not try to force things to happen in your time. Sometimes we need to wait for the timing to be perfect, and then it works like a well-oiled machine, if that makes sense. Think about it this way. If you want to plant a garden, you wouldn't do it in the wintertime when there's snow. It just doesn't make sense to do that. You dig a hole and it gets full of snow, right? And then you plant your seeds and they get frostbitten, and then you have to start the whole process over again. And you can't control the weather, so you have to wait until later when the timing is better. And meanwhile, focus that energy on something else, something that's a little bit more productive for the time being. And that's really what it's all about. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link in the description. Really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you guys make it a great week, as I know that you always do. You guys are so good at making everything out of nothing in a good way. Okay. I'm not saying blowing things up when they're nothing. I'm saying taking nothing and making magic out of it. And this week, in particular, is definitely the week to do that. So I will see you guys next week. Make it a great week, you guys.